And we're live.
We're live.
Yes. Damn it.
I'm having a coffee cup this time.
I love it. No beer here as well. Yeah, I'm still not.
I don't have a beer, but I have a cocktail because I was drinking Stark beer last night, so I'm
Stark?
done with beer. Yeah, strong beer for the audience.
Oh, wow.
So I'm done with beer for the weekend. I was at Polana at the Stark Beer Fest, dancing on tables.
Oh, wow.
So today I'm just having a nice fruity cocktail.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Cheers. Do you have something to cheers with?
I actually don't.
Oh, that's okay. I'll cheers for you.
Cheersing with positive attitude.
I love that.
Yeah. So Stark beer for everybody not from Germany, actually. So this is a big thing. We have the Oktoberfest and we also have the Stark Beer Fest. And Stark beer is a different kind of beast because it's going up to 9% of alcohol. So that's quite a lot. And we still get it in 1 liter steins. So you can imagine the first one is really well. The second one is already too much, right? At least this is how I felt, how I always felt. And it tastes so good, and it's like easy,
it's delicious,
but it's just going to destroy you. Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's fun.
So yeah, Stu, we were thinking about, what we were doing back at Oktoberfest with the G50 Summit. We could maybe also do it at the Stark Beer Fest, but yeah, we scrapped that idea because I think that's not a good idea at all.
It's really messy. Yeah. I had one Stark beer and one Helles sort of balance it out.
You had a Helles there. Oh, that's something new.
Really?
Yeah.
Someone got a Radler, and I was like, you can't get a Radler.
But it's a Stark Beer Fest. I mean, like, obviously.
That's true. It's not Helles Fest. Anyway. So, hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. We got Jochen. Hey, Jochen. Great you're watching. We got Dirk. Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Hey,
and both of these guys have also been at SMX Munich. And this is going to be the big topic today. Obviously, SMX Munich virtual. Happened this week, this Wednesday and Thursday, and it was phenomenal. It was really phenomenal. I had such a great time. I was really, I was there the whole time, like really every single slot. I was watching something, and it was even worse because there was just an abundance of choice. There was so many interesting panels and presentations going on, and I really had to decide, what should I do? Where should I go? So obviously I was there for every session. I watched something, and I'm really looking forward. In 2 weeks, there's going to be all the video recordings released from that video. So I'm definitely going to watch at least 5, 6, 7 other talks I missed out on in
great
2 weeks. It was really phenomenal. By the way,
I heard great stuff.
Here.
Hey, Andy Beard.
Hi from Munich. Well, hi from Munich.
That's a great name.
Yeah, absolutely. Great you're watching. And I think everybody who was at SMX, I think, has had the same feeling. It was really an amazing conference. And I think they did it very well doing it virtual again, because I couldn't have gone there. We're all positive here. I mean, like, we always have a positive attitude, but in this time I'm referring to COVID, obviously. So the whole family, we collected all 4, got 4 positive PCR tests, or had 4 positive PCR tests. So obviously I wouldn't have gone to the Messezentrum Munich to watch it in person. And there was also a couple of the speakers that were either a little bit sick, or just like I am still, a little bit suffering from it, or even quarantine. Something like Valentine, like quarantine.
Valentine, will you be my quarantine?
There were a couple of people, and so I think would it have been in person, there would have been a lot of people missing. So obviously it was great to have a great virtual event, and it turned out very nicely. So congratulations to everyone involved, Sandra, Matthew, obviously the whole SMX team as well, all the speakers, all the moderators. They did a fantastic job.
Always perfect planning.
My test was positive this morning. Yeah.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's like right now everybody seems to have it, and yeah, everybody wants it, everybody gets it. Yeah, stay at home, Izzy.
I just went to the Stark Beer Fest and
Oh,
danced in a room
okay.
full of people. I know. I felt overwhelmed the whole time. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh, bless.
they're saying my wife was sick the last 2 weeks, and now
Oh
we finally caught
no.
it as well. Yeah, same over here. So it was really, it was really a little bit tough. And I can only, I'm very grateful for having, you know, the two and the booster. Also the two vaccinations plus the booster vaccination, because
Yes.
I cannot imagine how this would have played out without that, because it was pretty excruciating. And I think everybody who had it has somewhat of the same experience here.
Yeah.
By the way,
Hey,
Monte
Monse.
is also here. Great
That's
watching.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but let's not talk about COVID. Let's talk about SMX. Before we talk about SMX, let me share my screen real quick.
Things have happened this week.
Yeah, a couple of things have happened, and first and foremost, there's the next Search Central virtual conference happening. That's awesome, 27th of April. And as you know the drill. You can't just get tickets; you have to apply for a ticket. There's only a limited number of participants. It will not be recorded, so it's very exclusive. So yeah, apply, try to get a spot, and if you get a spot, let us know what was discussed, so we can talk about it. So yeah, you should definitely try it out. Give it a.
I will definitely apply.
I think John definitely is applying here. Woohoo!
Yeah, John is hopeful. Hi, John. Happy Friday, John.
John, great you're watching.
So the registration opens on the 30th of March. I'm going to set a little alarm.
Awesome.
Yes, because I actually got accepted to the last one, which was amazing. But then I couldn't make it because I think we had like a whole company event on the same day. We had like a huge workshop with the product and tech teams, and I didn't want to be that person sitting in the corner during workshops watching a conference, unfortunately, or like participating in a conference. So that was a shame, and I had to cancel my placement. So hopefully, this time I can get in again.
Let it run. Have like a camera pointing at it, recording it. Something along those lines. I would definitely do it. I would have given away the ticket if I get if I get a seat there, because it sounds really cool. And as we can see from John, it's top secret, I guess. I don't know. It's not so secret if you put it up on the internet. Just say. Hi, John. So yeah, but definitely you should apply. That's always a great conference, and yeah, that's your chance.
I heard great stuff. Yeah,
definitely, most definitely. The next thing, which was widely discussed, or which spread a lot of fear, I must say, prepare for the future with Google Analytics 4. Google has announced they're sunsetting Google Analytics 3 Universal Analytics, so you have to move to Google Analytics 4, and you should definitely do this within the next 3 months, because only if you do it in the next 3 months, you will have year-over-year data, when it's getting sunset. So get on it, or
just complain.
Complain, live
just sit there like
have a miserable life without knowing what's going on your website. I don't know.
I can't even walk down the street without hearing someone complain about Google Analytics Universal being sunsetted.
Definitely.
And I just hear it everywhere.
And actually, you made a meme, I think, and this is also widely used without always being credited to you, but I've seen this widely used. So great meme again here.
I love having material to make memes out of. So thank you, Google, for all of this. We couldn't have done it without you.
It's like an acceptance speech at the Oscars. Maybe there will be like the best feature film, best director, best meme artist somewhere in the near future. I'm definitely crossing my fingers for you. This could happen. This could be
all I want in life.
And by the way, if you're wondering what's the fuss is all about, should I really move? There's a great article actually on the Right magazine, Google Analytics for the new Google Analytics property, where Alexander Hall is basically great roundup about the history of Google Analytics, what's different, who should move, how can you move, what should you do, what you should think about before setting it up, and all that kind of stuff. So it's a great article. He actually published it in German, and he allowed us to translate it to English and publish it on our blog. So I'm really grateful for that. So basically, every question is being answered in this amazing article here from Alexander. So yeah, if you really wonder what the fuss is all about, read that article and you should have no more questions. By the way, John is saying we have Meme Academy Awards in Google. God, every company has that. Oh my God, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that.
I bet John wins every year.
Wow. You could actually be an official coach for that category. Yeah, you could be the meme coach, or also in the jury. You could be an independent jury on judging who has the best memes within Google.
That would be so much fun. Hey,
you could
John.
Meme about you judging other memes. No, whatever. So
he's going on and on.
I'm just
love it.
Yeah. And by the way, if you got beyond Google Analytics, I want to that one quick plug here, and I also say this to John, who's just listening. Hey, join the right team, right? We might not have meme awards, but maybe we'll have if you join us. So we're actually looking for an SEO manager right now. We're in the fortunate position to finally recruit someone.
Our very own SEO
working on the right.com domain. So obviously together with you, with me, with Alex, with Miriam, with so many great people. If you want to work with us, it's also a very still like a juniorish position. So you don't gotta be super senior, which is more about, we just don't want people who are already in their mindset, talking about domain authority and link building and that kind of stuff. We don't want people that are, was ist denn versaut? Also die sind schon verdorben. They are tainted. I don't know. They're a little bit tainted doing SEO. So we
have bad habits.
Awesome. So we're looking for someone fresh and just who has a lot of energy and wants to do something, wants to move something. This might be your chance to work with us. So join our team. Yay.
Our very first SEO, like dedicated SEO, which is amazing.
Finally, I love this. Yeah, I really love this.
Because we're supporting customers more than our own website, which is
absolutely. We're always trying to do stuff there as well. But but customers come first. Customers king, obviously. So we've spent much more time on doing SEO for our customers or with our customers, sparring with our customers than doing this for our own site. So now we're in the fortunate position to finally recruit someone who's really just on right.com and obviously working together with us here. So cool. Hope you find a great candidate. I'm looking for
you can apply.
No, he has more than 3 years experience, so I think he's overqualified.
It's 4.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously we would still take you with open arms, obviously, but remotely, that's actually a good question. You just hit up our amazing recruiting team,
I think we'd like a mixture. So because we do have like really nice events together and we like sort of getting together every now and then. It's nice if you can visit us, but I think we're pretty flexible.
I mean, like these days, obviously. Oh, by the way, even in caps lock, are you saying I'm old? I'm really hearing John screaming here. No, that's not what I said. I'm just talking about experience, right? So this is, I was getting. I'm really sorry. Obviously, I wasn't saying this. I didn't say this. Yay! So, by the way, Mariana is really having fun here.
Hey, Mariana.
Mariana also says, and you have a new office in Saigon. Great segue, because we do have a new office in Saigon, which is pretty cool. And we're looking for data engineers, cloud engineers, React developers, PHP backend developers. So if you're in Vietnam, you can, look at our new offices there.
I want to work there.
And obviously it's spearheaded by our valued colleague Danny. I think was employee number 3. Irina, Julia, Danny.
Wow.
Point number 3, Danny, who's now living in Vietnam. He's actually married there. It's just having a fantastic life there, and obviously leading the Saigon office. So yeah, if you're living over there, you can also work there. I love it.
Danny was also on the show once. He was on 302 to explain to us how he achieved Lighthouse 100.
Lighthouse
which
100%.
yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely Danny.
That was a great episode. Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
He is great. Yeah.
Really, really phenomenal. So these were my plugs. What I had to get out of my system real quick. But now let's talk about SMX. And it was, as I said, it was really fantastic. I have written down, I would say, I don't know, like 9 pages, like just written down a lot of stuff, taken a lot of notes, but I also did a lot of screenshots, especially when I couldn't keep up. So I have loads of screenshots as well. This is a great thing about a virtual conference, that you can do this so easily here. So I would like to go over my notes together with you guys to give you a quick overview of what I heard, what I found interesting, and give a couple of shout outs. By the way, I was at the old office of Danny's first day with you. Yeah, I remember. Danny actually already canceled his apartment in Munich. He was actually about to move to Berlin when we were like, really, final straw, don't go. We want you to work with us. And yeah, he actually ended up living in our office, I think, living with Merlin a couple of days. We just didn't let him go to Berlin. That was really cool, and we're so happy that he chose to stay with us back then, 10 years ago. Crazy. So first things first, the unbundling of search, the first morning keynote from Pip. Philipp Klöckner, obviously a superstar here in Germany, also obviously because of his Doppelganger podcast and Discord group and whatever. By the way, raising, I think they have already done it. They're already at 500,000 raised for Ukraine. Oh, I also wanted to give a shout out to SEO for Ukraine event, which is taking place, I think, next week. Totally forgot
2 weeks, I think.
Also, great event. Already got my ticket. Definitely. And I can't even go there. I don't have time, but I still got my ticket. So I'm just going to give it to someone. I just wanted to support it, obviously. So Pip is a superstar here in Germany for a reason, right? And he did a great talk, which is actually very similar to the one talk he gave at SMX Advanced last year, the unbundling of search. But obviously, this is more current, lots of new current information, and it was just phenomenal. There was so much stuff in there, and what I wanted to tell you here, and this is, I think, the most interesting thing I got away from Pip's talk was, maybe you remember at SMX Advanced, I was raving about a talk from Tom Anthony. I said this was like one of my absolutely favorite conference talks of all time. Tom Anthony at SMX Advanced talking about Apple search, about how Apple could actually do a search which is not just competing with Google, but doing something just completely different, leveraging the strengths that Apple has with their iPhone ecosystem. I actually don't want to go all into it, but I totally bought it. I was like, really, Tom is a genius. This is so going to happen. We've seen Google, we've seen Apple recruiting so many search engineers from Google. So apparently they're working on this, and this could really be what they're working on. And it's so unique. It's so great. But now listening to Pip, I actually got the completely different opinion now, because he was basically saying, I call the Apple search bullshit. He said, really, this is not going to happen because Apple is currently already the most profitable search company, but not because they're having a great search engine, but they're renting out their Suchschlitz, the search box, to Google for I think reportedly 20 billion a year or something like this, or a ridiculous amount of money. to be on the standard search engine on iPhones. So, and this is exactly his point, because he's saying they are already the most profitable search engine in the world because they're making 20 billion a year without doing anything, not having an index, not having to crawl, not having to store, not having to refine, not having to, like pay thousands of engineers and infrastructure and like the whole 9 yards. And they're making 20 million US dollars. So obviously this is like without having to move a single finger. That is awesome. And this is exactly what he's saying, right? They basically getting 20 billion from Google to not think about search, right? It's sort of like sandbagging, right? In a sense. And I think Apple is having quite a good deal here. I mean, like, obviously this is like probably like 6-7% of Apple's total revenue. But the thing is, if you really take that step and say, Google, hey, you can't have the search box anymore, we're going to do our own thing, or maybe they're going to buy DuckDuckGo or Neva or whatever, you first have to make 20 billion. So also not just revenue, but like Gewinn. I'm sorry, I'm still a little bit mush due to the COVID.
No,
profit. Sorry, profit. 20 billion profit, and can you even make more profit, sort of like in the medium long run, that it would really justify making a really drastic move like that, and that's what he's saying. He said this is not going to happen, and they're just going to take the 20 billion. And the great thing, by the way, also is because they're basically also participating. If Google makes more, they're making more. So again, they are already the most profitable search engine. Why would you change this? I mean, like, seriously, Izzi, if I would say to you, hey, you get 20 billion in a year, you don't have to do anything, would you do something else here? Would you say, oh no, I don't want that, I'm doing my own thing. I'm going to make 25 billion a year doing my own. I mean, like, seriously, I mean, like, who would say that, right? I mean, I don't know. So Opportunitätskosten. Thank you. Hans is also watching. Hey, Hans. By the way, SEO-date.com, SEO-date.com, great SEO podcast from Germany. So if you're listening from Germany, you should listen to Hans, famous head of SEO at Chef Koch, the most famous recipe site in Germany, has great recipes as well, but he's also great at SEO. So listen to him. He's doing this with his wife. It's always a great podcast to listen to here in Germany. Yes, so this was basically his point. I bought it. Yeah, I mean, like, obviously there's stuff happening now with the FTC and Department of Justice, like trying to untangle this search monopoly. But yeah, whatever will happen. So yeah, again, would you take 20 billion? Don't move a finger. Don't do anything. Take 20 billion. I would.
Maybe. Yes. Yes.
So this was Pip, obviously, like, amazing. Although I was only telling you this one quick thing. The next thing I was watching here was the ultimate indexing session, and this was also phenomenal. And if you want to check it out yourself, it's actually online. You can find it on SlideShare.
Amazing
session. So you really want to check it out. Let me show you the screenshots, which are obviously all in there as well. And what he did was basically, as he has so much original data in this in that presentation, I love it. I mean, like, obviously Bartosz is the man when it comes to indexation problems. I think he's foremost expert in that field. By the way, he also mentioned Write, I think 3 times in this presentation. I love it. I always love to hear when the super pros use Write and also say it. So thanks a lot, obviously, to Bartosz for the nice shout-outs, and obviously being an avid Write user, we love it. And what he did was actually looking at the index coverage of top DACH domains, so Germany, Austria, Switzerland domains, and actually comparing this to the world, to the rest of the world. And he was basically saying he was expecting to Germany to be a little bit better in the German-speaking markets, because we have a very mature technical SEO community, and they're likely going to do a good job. And we can kind of see this here, that we see that the DACH region, we have 78% comparison to the average in the world, 74%. So I think we have a very good technical SEO community here in Germany, and it really shows. So this was nice original research here done by Bartosz to actually show this. And it's also a very interesting study he's conducting there, because he can also see the maturity of certain markets in regards to technical SEO based on indexation problems that large domains have in that specific market. Oh, by the way, this is also amazing. So he was like making a point with Mediamarkt.de here, which is like a German Best Buy kind of thing, which is like heavily JavaScript, which is loaded with heavy JavaScript, obviously making the site really slow. And he was actually measuring Mediamarkt's page weight in Friends episodes.
I love that.
Fantastic. And what he was saying is he was asking the audience, who is more likely to index your content, Google or Bing? And there was only one person who said Google, I think, and everybody else, me included, said Bing, obviously. And he also showed this, that you can actually see that Bing, that also these example domains here, obviously all very large domains, walmart.com, bbc.com, theguardian.com, right? Bing has indexed all of them almost completely, while Google seems to be lacking behind and almost very extreme in some cases even. So it is definitely clear that Google crawls more than Bing, but it's definitely pickier about indexing.
Interesting.
And I think Google is also much better already at determining in the crawling process, in the discovery process, if they should even crawl that URL, and in the crawling process, if they should even index that URL. And we've seen these problems like getting more and more, at least this what we can hear from a lot of our customers, that we get more and more of these cases where it's crawled not indexed or discovered not crawled, these kind of cases. In most cases, it comes down to quality, right? And he has some amazing examples, different examples, where he was basically like showing his process and basically trying to find sort of like the stick, as what is Google not indexed, and what are the similarities between those pages that have not been indexed, and what's different to the pages that actually have been indexed. This is the process we're also doing a lot there. And I think if you really investigate this, you can always find a pattern which is likely to have an impact on that kind of problem. And so this is exactly what Bartosz did in this fantastic presentation, talking about this and how do you actually find that stick. And because you need to know that, because this is the chance to do something different and get the important stuff indexed. So
nice.
Yeah, and he's also comparing like the different strategies. For example, he sees a lot more author profiles, for example, in Bing, right? And this is something where Google is like, oh, you get 20,000 author profiles. I see they don't really have any value. They might be like really not a lot of content on them, or it doesn't really help the user, obviously, that kind of stuff. So Google is very good at saying, yeah, I got a couple of those author profiles, but the rest of them, I don't really need those in my index. Bing is more like, oh, I'm going to take it. Oh, give me more, right? And so I really like this original research of looking on, where the differences and how Bing and Google index certain web pages. And I think this is his main point, and I want to stress this as well. The SEO industry still works as if indexing wasn't our key problem, because he said it is the key problem, because only when the stuff is actually indexed, the backlinks you eventually have, you might have on a couple of those pages, and everything else, just basically is, as indexing is the basis, the foundation, right? It needs to be indexed for all of that other stuff to actually come into play. I don't know if I said this correctly, but this is a great point he was doing there. And again, he was giving like different example here, Home 24 was actually, he saw a pattern of the pages that have not been indexed of having like very few schema types in comparison to the pages that have been indexed, who have a lot of schema types.
Interesting.
And by the way, here he mentioned, right, I love it, how you can measure this, find the stake. So again, you should really, if you have problems with this, you should really check it out. Or even if you have real problems, you need someone to tackle those problems, you should definitely talk to Bartosz and his team. They also doing this tool, ziptie.dev, which is also pretty cool. Which supposedly helps with these kinds of issues. So if you have issues, this is the guy to talk to, and should definitely check out this presentation. Yes,
very nice. Enjoy the traffic and dollars is a final nice step.
Absolutely. By the way, Andreas is watching. Moin, Andreas.
Hi, Andreas.
John is saying the cool thing about indexing issues is that it's a perfect place for SEO tools to help out. Absolutely. Great point here by John, because you need to find the pattern, right? You really need to find a pattern. What's different from the pages that have been indexed to the pages that have not been indexed? And again, with so many people having problems lately. And by the way, I don't know if you've seen this. I'm just reminded because John is saying this, where John was actually on Twitter with someone who was like, "Oh, I have like 20,000 pages and they're not getting indexed. You know, how can this be?" And John was like, "Well, it doesn't, like, what's so valuable about them, and la la la." And it was like basically what he was saying. It sort of like sounded like a standard financial page, right, with stock quotes and stuff like this. So, what's really valuable? It's automated. Why should I index? Why should I crawl? Why should I index your 20,000 automated pages, which are very similar to a lot of other pages that we already have in our index? And then this guy came back and actually asking, but if I use my site, like if I would do a static HTML sitemap, because the original question was about like an XML sitemap, if that even helps or something like this. So if I do like a static sitemap and also do like with also feed it with guest posts and whatever links and bullshit. And John was just saying, that doesn't increase the website quality, right? And this is exactly the point, right? He was like more stressing, like, could I use this tactic or this tactic or this tactic? No. In the end of the day, it comes down to quality, right? Is this the quality result? I definitely want to have it in my index, right? And if you provide a quality page, quality information, right? Google is more than happy to crawl it into indexing and even rank it very highly, but if it's just the same automated stuff like thousands of other pages, right, using the same databases and all that kind of stuff, right, just being green instead of yellow or blue, this is not going to move the needle, and this is just not going to work. So I just love this, how he like very trocken, very sober, so to speak. Was like saying, well, doesn't sound like quality to me. By the way, Hans is saying we wish a GC indexing API for SEO tools. Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna.
I don't know the English expression here. I'm sorry.
I'm no worries. I'm definitely gonna like jump into Bartosz's article as well and his slides to look into later. But I'm sure maybe he discusses this, but when it comes to like the discrepancies between the amount of pages that like Bing and Google are indexing, like maybe the amount of pages that Google aren't indexing are just low quality and they're serving like no real purpose for organic visitors. Like maybe it's for like, a navigational internal use, but more is not more these days. So like aiming to have all of the pages in the index is, a great aspiration if each of them serves some unique purpose, but especially for e-commerce, right? When they have like faceted navigation URLs, like filtered URLs, sort URLs, like you don't need to have all of those indexable. So yeah, maybe that was like just a large reason why the difference is so big. Google is just prioritizing quality over quantity, like always.
As they should.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're well beyond those days when Google was saying like, oh, over 4 billion pages index, over 8 billion pages index, over 10 billion pages index. But it was still the rat race between the Bing, the Yahoo, who has more of their web index, with social media, it was like, okay, this is getting way too many URLs. It's not about quantity anymore. It's about relevance. What's relevant? And we really want to be very cautious about what we're crawling. I mean, like, obviously this also has a very big effect on the environment, all the crawling waste that is happening, right? And
Exactly.
increasingly incredibly better at deciding in the discovery, in the crawl process, what they should further touch and what not. By the way, Dirk is saying, what color should I paint that turd, John? I think that's not a legit question. You don't have to answer, John. Just saying. We got Adam Dent here, famous. By the way, amazing newsletter. Adam has an amazing newsletter. You should definitely sign up
Gent
to.
Of Search.
Such a smart guy. Also wirklich crazily smart. I always have to read what he's writing like twice to get what he's saying. Obviously, it's also in English, but English is hard. But
it is.
He's super smart, so you should definitely subscribe to his newsletter. So he's asking, John, all the new GC tools have helped out understanding indexing and crawling issues. Still not perfect, but I remember old GC reports. Yeah,
that's so true. Very true.
Webmaster tools reports. This is all you get, right? Or not even having people like John, Martin, Gary, and everybody like coming to help webmasters when we just still only had the Google guy on Webmaster World Forum before, Matt said that it was him, right? I mean, like, this was the only place you could actually talk to someone inside search. And now you have that great support from a whole team, and they're putting out so much stuff. And you'll just see what also Daniel Weisberg and the GC team is doing is just fantastic, right? Now they also
and the documentation.
Awesome documentation, holy shit! And also they just launched
from Lizzie.
You can build your own data studios with all the APIs and that kind of stuff. They're so helpful in so many ways. Look at the unconferences we just talked about early in the beginning, right? There's so much cool stuff there. So yeah, I mean, like in every show, we can't thank enough for the great work Google is doing here for webmasters. Also, sites are often technically okay, so the bar has moved more to quality rather than just is it indexable?
Yeah,
absolutely. You doing like home improvement?
Oh no, can you hear the drilling? Oh my god, it's my neighbor. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. So she's all of a sudden like coming through the wall behind you. I'm gonna give you a head count.
Like, here's Johnny.
Like, whoa. Yeah.
I'll mute myself.
No worry. So all right, so we had Bartosz, which was awesome. Then then was actually listening to a German guy, Olaf Kopp, who actually had this first article up on Search Engine Land just today. So shout out to Olaf, first article on Search Engine Land, getting some international reputation there, and the most deserved. It's about EAT. You should definitely check it out. This was in German, also a good session. This session was also good from TUI. Unfortunately, there were some sound problems here, so I was like trying. Yeah, I was trying, but it was like really hard to follow because there was something with our microphone. That was not so cool. But this is like really the only bad experience I had during SMX. But whatever. Next up, Lily Ray. I mean, like, obviously I wanted to see what Lily was talking about. She's given an overview of recent Google algorithm updates, what changed and how to respond. And this was phenomenal. Definitely one of the top 3 talks of SMX Munich. She was giving a great roundup around EAT, the different product review updates, which is obviously very interesting for us Germans because product review update mostly happen in the US. And obviously we can learn a lot here in Germany from what's had happened in the US to actually apply all these best practices already to not get hit when it's actually getting rolled out to Germany as well. She also covered the rising threat of Amazon and what Google and especially Bill Reddy, the new hire from Google. We talked about Lily's article, if you remember.
The new sheriff in town.
Absolutely. Yeah. And obviously this was really cool. And then obviously also going into the core updates and that kind of stuff. Also this was like really fantastic. I mean, like, obviously also talking about EAT. By the way, I also love this one, right? To explain the concept of EAT. I mean, like, there's so many explanations out there, but this makes so much sense to really talk, explain to people why it's only like being used in your money or your life. niche, so to speak, or niches, right? Because if you're searching for puppy photos or how to fold a t-shirt, you don't really need a lot of authority, expertise, and trust, right? I don't care. You don't have to be a puppy expert to have great puppy photos. But if you're
Great job.
yeah, yay. But if you're searching for like symptoms of a heart attack or a COVID-19 vaccine, obviously you want to get an answer from somebody who is an authority, has expertise, and obviously can be trusted. So I love this. Besides all the more theoretical talk about it and what could have an influence, and also explain to people that EAT is sort of like not universal throughout all search results. It's really when it's about your money or your life, when it really is really important. So I really love this. Love this chart. And as you can see, she went over. I mean, like obviously, like the true authorities basically rising to the top instead of the basically demoting the more SEO projects in the process. This is about the product review update. By the way, also a very interesting correlation of the various best sites losing traction, especially in these kind of keywords, coconut hair oil, cereal, yogurt maker, right? Where it's more like the merchants now taking the spots of these best sites, or the review sites, the shallow review sites, which are just slapping on affiliate codes and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So we really see more of the retailers like going up here, which obviously also has something to do with intent, right? If I search for coconut hair oil, I most likely want to buy something, right? So obviously it makes a lot of sense to having those retailers here in the SERPs. Same goes for colleges and that kind of stuff. This is about Google Shopping. The reclassification of user intent. This refers to the Google core updates. This is something we see completely the same thing. Dictionaries being the winners, decline in international CCTLDs. Oh, and yeah, this is so funny, by the way. You see John here eating Krustenbrat mit Rotkohl und Klößen mit Bratensoße of SEO. I love this. And when she was saying this, it was like almost perfect pronunciation. So I have mad respect for Lily there.
Amazing.
Impressive German pronunciation skills. Oh yeah, and this is also good, like looking at the topics, what you rank for, which works really well in regards to what's not working well, to really find, where should I do more in regards to doing less. There was so many great things here.
Wow.
Definitely great talk. I don't know, maybe she's also giving out the presentation. Maybe if you ask nicely, she will send it to you. It was a great presentation. Yeah. And again, it was like one of our top 3 presentations, definitely. Then we had Kevin Indeck, 3 SEO problems nobody talks about. I definitely wanted to listen to it. I actually had a client call, so I came a little bit late, but I basically came late to get the recap, so I at least knew what he was talking about. But I was really like, I definitely have to rewatch this. And another thing I definitely want to rewatch is this measuring link building. You're doing it wrong with Tom Kepper here from Mars. I want to listen to it, although I'm not the big link builder, but I definitely want to know what I might be doing wrong when I'm measuring link building. And so I'm definitely gonna look at this as well. And this was also phenomenal. Greg here, and this is actually the only slide I got from him, and everything else I was just writing down.
Yeah.
The screenshot, he's going like bam, bam, bam. He has like 109 slides.
Exactly.
Slide storm kind of feeling, but he has these always like a movie theme going on. That kind of was superheroes. He had 109 different superheroes in the background when he was given his tips. So I couldn't even do so many screenshots. I was just writing down stuff, and I learned so much. I mean, Greg obviously is a local SEO powerhouse, and I suck at local SEO. I'm not a local SEO. It's a totally different ballgame. So I soaked everything up he was saying, and there was so much great stuff in there. I don't even know what I should say here. There was so many great nuggets about what I just don't know, what I don't know about local SEO. There was so many great actionable tips in there. Yeah.
I mean, his presentations are like, it's like tip, 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 do this. We did this, it worked, do it. And that's just like a really unique style for him, to him. And very entertaining to watch. But I know what you mean. Like, you just get like pages of things to take away.
Yeah, so, absolutely. I have so many takeaways there. I can't even know what I should say like in a couple of minutes. But let me say one thing, and I think this is a very important point, why local SEO is becoming increasingly important, because he's saying that 70% of people use their smartphones more due to the pandemic, which is actually kind of funny, because with me, I'm using my cell phone less due to the pandemic. Also before the pandemic, I was on the road a little bit more, obviously using my cell phone, my smartphone more. Now we always do these, you can compare the screen times, and I always win, because my average screen time is like 20 minutes with my iPhone each day, unless we're doing the Clubhouse. Obviously this is like tainting the average a little bit. But yeah, like due to the pandemic, I'm really seldomly on my smartphone. I also don't like it. I don't like to type like this, much faster like this. So but 70% say they use their smartphone more due to the pandemic. And obviously having the smartphone, this is just very much more localized, right? Because Google can really, localize the smartphone and obviously give you more localized results. And this is why local SEO becomes more and more important, because more people are searching from a smartphone and might be interested in a more local result. Hans is saying, can Izzy pronounce the recipe name from Lily? Oh, this is like the challenge.
Which
can you
one?
give it a try? Wait. Here it is.
Krustenbraten mit Rotkohl und Klößen mit Bratensoße auf SEO.
That's actually very good. Also Klößen.
Klößen. I struggle with those umlauts.
Yeah, and the sharp S, also the sharp S, Klößen.
Klößen.
Yeah.
Klößen.
Yeah, but this is very well. I mean, like, obviously, I know you have become really, really well. Although you don't say it a lot, but yeah, I also know you understand German much better. Sometimes you might be pretending it's not this way.
It's not that
which
good.
has some advantages, but I know you become much better at German, which is awesome.
Thank you.
Don't pick on Izzy. I didn't pick on Izzy. I'm sorry. No, this is Tom's.
Thank you, Leah, and hi, Leah.
Yeah, hi, Leah. Great you're watching.
Yeah. It does sound tasty.
Sounds tasty. Yeah, it definitely does. Now I'm really hungry, by the way. Right? I'm really hungry. Now
I'm always really hungry.
I'm always really
I mean, I don't have a beer. The beer would fill me up, but I just have a cocktail, so yeah. But speaking of learning German, I installed a really nice Chrome plugin for anyone at home who is learning a language called Tuken. And what it does, it randomly translates words that you're reading on a page. So you're just reading like a sentence in English, and then like one word will be shifted into German. So you're kind of picking up vocabulary while you're doing your normal tasks and like reading articles and stuff. So yeah, that was my little tip for you all.
That's great. That's like BERT, right? I mean, this is like how artificial intelligence is trained. So you are basically you're training your human intelligence with the sort of like the same concept here. Because
yes, true.
That's the same thing. I mean, like here the word is missing, but here you actually get a different word of vocabulary. That's very smart.
And it fits in. Like, yeah, you can also then save it. But it's kind of funny because it does it on Twitter. So now everyone's tweets look like Denglish to me, basically. So it's quite entertaining.
Yeah, on Slack, yes. I also tend to do this, have it like the Denglish.
But that's helpful for me. Yeah. It's great, yeah.
By the way, here, because you said you need the beer to fill you up, the flüssiges Brot. Flüssig Brot. I mean,
flüssig Brot.
It's also wheat. Also,
that's true. Yeah, good point.
Oh, and yeah, Michael wants to check it out. Hey, Michael,
thanks for watching.
Yeah. And he's laughing me down. Yeah, stay and laugh. So this was already a fantastic day one. Absolutely great.
Yeah,
and also a lot of great stuff. I definitely wanted to listen to, didn't have the chance to. I'll definitely rewatch a couple of those. Day two started off again amazingly well with Jens Fauldrath. This is again a German and it was about Google Discover, Google News, and evergreen content, so to speak. So it was really about publisher SEO, and just like local SEO, I suck at publisher SEO. I don't know shit about Discover. I'm not very good about news SEO. So obviously I was like really hanging on his lips on what he's saying, because he's like really the authority on publisher SEO in Germany. And there was, again, so much great stuff in there. I learned so much about how it works. And by the way, among others, I think they have 17 different customers in the publishing field, and they say that 73% is Discover traffic for them on average. I don't think this is like representing that the whole industry. This might also just be biased because they're doing a great job with their customers, so they get a lot of Discover traffic, right? But nevertheless, you can see the amazing power Discover has, how much traffic you can actually get out of it. And he was giving so much tips, how it actually works, how you can do this. Oh, by the way, this is also something I love to do in Google Search Console, right? With search success, like looking at how many URLs are like responsible for 25% of the clicks, how many URLs are responsible for 50% of the clicks, and just looking at those curves, you can really see, which page, as which site should do a panda diet, or which site is very healthy, doing that kind of stuff. So I also loved seeing this in here, that he's doing something doing something similar. He's saying you should definitely delete, obviously, like lots of tips, as you can see here, lots of tips, and authority wins. And this is the most important point here. Authority wins. You have to find out what Google considers you an authority in and pound on it. Also, you have to also defend your authority in that specific topic. And he was also sharing how he was actually finding this out, how you would identify this, and he was actually looking at the CTRs of specific topics. He's actually running it against the NLP API as a national
cloud natural language.
National language. Okay. So he's and basically extracting entities, extracting topics, and then see where do you have a good CTR. And he's saying they've been doing this for 15 years. Was actually working for T-Online back in the days. And where you have a good CTR, you get more, right? So where you do a good job, you get more. Makes a lot of sense, and you need to find it out and do more of that, and also defend the authority that you have. And so many actionable tips here. There it is, the national API, language API.
Who's that in the background? Is that Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Oh yeah, that's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, she was just standing there. I don't know. Maybe she also wants to learn something about publisher SEO. I have no idea.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? Everybody's interested in publisher SEO. And he was giving tips on republishing for Discover and for Google News, how it's different, what you should do. Again, so many tips, even like also giving tips on how to republish evergreens, because they can also get some sizable traffic in Discover. So much stuff in there. Again, it's also in German. I'm sorry about this, but if you talk to him, I think maybe he will also.
I can practice
in English. How do you both, John and everyone? Also, hi Leah. Sorry. So this was fantastic. By the way, he's also saying like use schema like very creatively, like the about dimensions to also like interlink, so to speak, different topics you're talking about. So many great tips. Also, this is just amazing. So, and we already see the next one up here. This was.
I don't recognize that person.
Was Robert Seger. This is an Austrian guy, phenomenal guy.
I know him, I think.
Yeah, and he was with the founder of niceshops.com, and they want to be like Europeans' like most liked employer, so to speak. Something we also strive for with Right. By the way, if you want to experience yourself, here we go. Just saying, John. Just saying, just saying, you're not old. You experience. He has the SDNA. This is his main topic. SDNA, Scheiß die Neon. It's very Austrian. I think it can't translate to English. Scheistignon, the SDNA. Love it. And he was actually pleading for attracting, not recruiting, right? Don't recruit, attract people, right? And I love the sentiment. And he was also, which is very smart, he was actually comparing the order process, as when you buy something, to the application process, which is totally different, right? Because with the order process, yeah, we received your order, it's being worked on, now it's been sent, this is when you get your package, right? And sometimes with the application process at different companies, right, you don't get an email that, hey, we received your application, thank you very much, we're going to be in touch in 2 weeks or something like this. So he was comparing this, which is pretty hilarious when you think about it, like saying, oh, so this would be like ordering something, you don't even get a reply that your order has been received, and then in 3 weeks you just get a random notice and said, oh, by the way, the product is not in stock anymore, right? So this is like, I love this because it's totally like the same process, but the one is like broken and the other one is like very well. And why is that, right? So it's about attracting, not recruiting. Love that sentiment. And
Really nice.
And then, by the way, I also learned that Amazon in the logistics in logistics has a rate of people quitting of 150%. So every 9 months they basically recycle their whole employees, right? This is amazing.
That's awful.
That is super awful. And this is, I think, because they're awful. And by the way, again,
yeah,
I'm not ordering at Amazon, despite my neighbor being like very high up at Amazon. Yeah, and we have these great fights about this. But again, right? I mean, like, I'm buying at Amazon. This is, I think, yeah, buy local. Support your local dealer. This is just crazy. Yeah, and then it was Jono time. And again, Jono, this was, again, I said Lily.
Jono time.
Jono definitely also up in the top 3. He was giving some great steps. By the way, he just announced this day because Joost is stepping down. I mean, like, phenomenal accomplishment. What he did at Yoast, scaling it from 0 users to, I think, almost 30 million users. Incredible accomplishment. Selling the company, phenomenal. Now he wants, he's gonna get bored. He wants to do something else. I mean, like, totally respected this. And Jono is being the new head of SEO at Yoast, doing a lot of great stuff, continuing to do a lot of great stuff over there. So congratulations there. And his talk again was phenomenal. And I wish every C-level would watch his presentation. And, like, seriously, I think it should be a must for, if you are a C-level of a new company, you have to watch this. Because he's going so deep into core web vitals are not about, it's not about SEO, right? And I mean, like, we had this topic so often before, that so many people connected to SEO, and even like go about saying like, oh, and we measure like, oh, it doesn't have a great impact now that the core web vitals, like the page experience update has been rolled out, there's no SEO effect. And then people are like saying, oh yeah, great decision from me not doing something there because it wouldn't have had a great effect either. That is so limited thinking. I don't know if I can say this, I can turn this nicely. I mean, like seriously, this is so limited. When people see this to SEO, it's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to do something there because this is not important, right? Because I mean, like, obviously he's giving these great stats here. Phenomenal stat here. US consumers with vision loss have an estimated 175 billion of disposable income, right? They can't spend on shitty sites with shitty accessibility, right? I mean, huge market, right? A huge untapped market in many sense. And again, here I had to type because he's so fast. I couldn't even write on my Remarkable that fast, so I had to actually type. And he was saying core web vitals don't just measure speed; they measure technical maturity, resource allocation and budget, competency and capabilities, priorities and politics, trajectory and velocity, right? The core web vital is a proxy for quality, right? At least the user centricity of it. And the quality of your website determines how well it performs. And by the way, amazing stat, in the quality radar guidelines, you have the word quality 500 times. I didn't even know that. Fantastic. Yeah, quality. That's what it's about. Quality, right?
Yeah.
And he's saying like, oh, we have so many people like we move fast and break shit, but that doesn't mean that you should have a broken website. To come in second in our world means you're the first to lose bam. He was giving like these quotes like a slap on the face, right? I mean, like, holy shit. I was
That's very Jono.
right, and again, and we're talking about this is full speed, right? Right, it was right, right, and that's what it said. Every C-level should watch this, right, and like really slaps across the face, and then really get moving, acting on it, you know. And obviously, you can't build the perfect website you own, but you can get help. And it was like talking about all the great things. Obviously, he was also very controversial mentioning AMP here. I'm totally on Jono's side here with AMP. I'm saying this multiple times as well, you know, because he's basically saying there's so many like super competent people that work on your site because you're using components, right? So they basically, your sites get better through credible people working at Google, right? And they're basically making your site better. What's not to like, right? So use like very well maintained system. Obviously, WordPress, Shopify, and Bento components and stuff like this. So great points. Everybody should watch this. Your strategy shouldn't be hope. Obviously, a lot of people have that's their strategy. Yeah, hope is not a strategy. So this was a fantastic talk. Again, I wish more people would watch this. Yeah, because
enough said. Yeah.
I can't even say it better. Obviously, I can't say it better because Joe is just hyper smart. But
he is, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to watch How to Americana Your Website with Jess Charles. Obviously, I mean, Jess was number 3 in our G50 Summit.
She's fantastic.
When we still had it. Obviously, I wanted to watch it. But I'm going to rewatch it in 2 weeks because I actually went to Samuel Schmidt, which I loved last SMX Munich when he was here for the first time, optimizing blogs with topic clusters. And this was actually the only session I watched together with my wife. So Becca was actually on the couch watching it together with me. Get into how to build topic clusters, you know, because he wants to build like a website for, you know, like parties for kids and all the material you need and that kind of stuff. So he has great ideas there.
Nice.
Love that. So this is why I watched it together with her. And Jess Schultz's session was pure poetry. Yeah, I mean, like, Jess is amazing. Again,
she is
top 3 in the G50 Summit. This is something, yeah, you have to also that's quite an accomplishment.
It is.
Was first that
huge.
That was a huge accomplishment, obviously. And I'm definitely going to rewatch it in 2 weeks. By the way, SEO NFTs, right? Oh God, fungible tokens. Don't get into this.
No, let's not talk about NFTs, please.
Nobody talks about NFT anymore. I just saw like the trend going.
Good.
I'm so happy.
It can go away.
I don't know. So this was amazing. Samuel Schmidt again, also so much great actionable advice on how you actually build topic clusters for your websites. Yeah, this is amazing. Then I actually checked out Tom Anthony. Yeah, here, Hacking 101, a high-level introduction to web security. I mean, I could listen to Tom for hours, whatever he talks about, right? But him talking about web security and SEO was just enormous, phenomenal. Loved the session. I can't even say anything about this because I barely understood any of it. No, I'm just joking. But no, it was really good. But I don't have specific points to tell you. It was just an amazing session. And this KI im Einsatz, so it was about Kai Spriestersbach was talking about AI content generation. He has spent done quite some research on it. It was really like I was really eager to find out what his experiences were, and I actually already signed up for Fraser, trying was it Jasper to play around with it a little bit. Really got me going, really, and yeah, activated me to try something out. So this is also a great talk here from Kai, again, only in German. And then yeah, we had the fantastic evening keynote, obviously with none other than Rand Fishkin, again. Phenomenal. It's always fun to watch. I don't really have like a super takeaway from it, but it's, yeah, as you know, it's a presentation from Rand, always very
always inspiring.
Always inspiring. So
yeah,
great time there. And yeah, that was SMX.
Amazing.
It would be interesting comparing callback vitals with crawled, not indexed across 1 million sites. Oh wow.
That
Do
would be
it. I mean, like,
nice.
if you do that original research, you will get
Got a good study.
you will get a
Yeah.
lot of links. Also, just saying, just from a link building
Yeah.
perspective, or also social share and stuff. If you do a study like this is phenomenal. Everybody, SEOs will want to read it and will want to cover it in stuff like this, podcast and everything. So great idea. Get on it, Andy. I love it. I loved Rand's pizza story. Pizza story.
I think
I don't remember.
I remembered a story about him going to the pizza place when he was a kid or something, or maybe I'm thinking of something else. I mean, I wasn't in the talk, but I've heard some food-related story from Rand like
He
that.
always has food-related stories. It's always
He does have a lot of food-related stories. You're right.
Yeah, and also his amazing wife, Geraldine. Fantastic blog, fantastic book.
Yeah.
She's just so talented writer. And that story about when they were in that Michelin star restaurant with Lisa.
That was so funny.
What?
In Italy, right?
Yeah, so it's always food related with them.
Yeah, that's true.
You're gonna love it. Yeah, so
amazing catch up, Marcus.
Yeah.
Thank you. I feel like I was there. I know it's not the same, but I hope I can steal some access to your videos. I'd love to learn from all of these wonderful people.
I mean, like, obviously I can't give you my login credentials as soon as I have it. I can't do it. Maybe I will.
Okay.
I hope Sarah's watching. Again, also Jono's session. I mean, like, I would want a couple of people also from Right watching this, right? Because you get so much out of it. Yeah, also definitely. Also, I think maybe we do like a public session in the Right office.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
Public viewing. Yeah. So again, also, just congratulations, Sandra and the whole team for just an amazing conference again. Also great moderators again. Astrid, phenomenal job.
Yeah,
Alexander,
awesome.
Timon, also, and obviously also Toby, and everything. The whole organization, the whole thing was working really well. Great talks, and this is what really you gotta love, that you watched so much stuff, but there's still stuff you couldn't watch. So this really makes a great conference. And yeah, I mean, like, obviously I would really love to have it in person again, because the networking part is really missing so much, right? Because I was there for 2 days at a conference and I didn't meet a single person. I didn't have like a one-on-one conversation with anyone, right? So, and this is, I mean, like, obviously this is such a huge part of the conference experience, especially at SMX Munich. So I definitely hope that we can have it in person again next year. And yeah, and other than that, I'm out of material. That's it. So I guess we can.
That was great.
You a great weekend, and we would definitely like to temporarily redirect you from work to the weekend. So
you stole my line.
I mean, like, obviously, yeah. Party would also be very nice, like a conference party. I think just reading this, I get a little bit like, right? I mean, like, oh my god, a party! A lot of people in a room, right? I mean, like. Yeah, I haven't been in a party in 2 weeks.
I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, especially the party for me. Like, I miss connecting, catching up with people. Yeah. Having a drink, soft or otherwise. Yeah, I can't wait for all of that. Bring it back. Yeah, bring it back. Can't wait.
Absolutely.
So. Thank you so much.
Guys, have a great weekend. I have a feeling mine will be quiet, dude. I wish you a quiet weekend. I hope
and gute Besserung.
Gute Besserung on everyone, and also everybody else who's suffering from COVID or anything else related.
Yes, stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe, and obviously, support Ukraine. Fuck Putin.
Fuck Putin.
Yes, conferences. Let's go.
Yes.
That's it.
Great start to the weekend. Thank you, Marcus. Love the recap.
Thank you, Izzi. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And hope to see you guys again next Friday, 4 p.m. Just the
Just the
party.
party.
Definitely having a party.
Just the party.
And again, John, I'm looking out for your application here. SEO manager. I love it. No, just whatever. So, 4-4.
Happy weekend,
Not
404.
found. Not found. Okay, 302 from work to the weekend. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
We're waving.